Craig Huby had an operation last Wednesday. It was a successful operation. He had a steel plate taken out. They found some other areas that needed some work done to it, which is a positive. As much as people might think it's a negative finding other areas, we were able to nip them in the bud and get on top of them so they won't reoccur during the year. So that's really positive. But he won't probably be back till probably late March at the earliest. Brett Ferres had an operation too, very successful. There was it could have went either way. It could have been longer or shorter, but we come on the successful one. So we're really happy with that operation. And when we got some guys starting to return back into training, which this week was the first week we've had a lot of our squad be able to train. Nathan Massey returned back into the squad. Jacob Emmett returned back into the squad training. Daryl Clark returned back in. He had a slight injury, and he's back in there. Johnny Walker went and seen the specialists again, and we just got to work out which way we're going to head with him. Long term, it should be right. Short term, we may have to take a few steps back so we go forward. Paul Jackson had an operation the previous week, and on his hand, and it will probably rule him out of the Boxing Day fixture. But he starts back training very shortly too. So, we're getting some areas that we obviously must concern probably fans and that, the amount of injuries. But I'm really happy with the way the staff are going about it. Very professional. Their attention to detail has been outstanding. So that's been giving us a great chance to get on top. Obviously you don't flick a switch and at all injuries disappear. It's about rebuilding them, strengthening them, making sure that they're under less vulnerability for a future injury. So that's the process we're going through at the moment.
Now, so them players are working hard to get back fit, and also Grant Millington is good progress, and he's due to arrive soon.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to get a flight at the moment, and we're very hopeful he's in by the end of the week. He'll then come straight in. Some good reports of his physio in Australia. He's starting to do some strength work now, what we call pushing and pulling. We've just got to improve the range of his flexibility. But we'll obviously assess him and make sure that everything that we've been relayed is 100%. But we're really happy with the progress he's making. It'd be good to have him on board. He's the last player to reappear back into the squad, and I know Grant's really keen to get on board and work with Ben, our physio, but also more importantly integrate with the players.
Now, there's a lot of players injured, but also there's a lot of players who are impressing you so far in training. You telling me that a few earlier. Yeah,
look, I've been, we probably talk too much about the injuries. We've got to deal with that on the short term and the long term. Obviously, and I think people have got to understand. That's one of the, people say, what some changes. We've tried to change a lot of things in our medical department and the way we go about things to try and understand some of the deficiencies the players have and to improve that. So that's been a major goal in that, probably the sports science part for us. But there's been some really good performances so far in training. I've been really impressed with Richie Owens. His attitude's been fantastic, and his speed is. I think he'll really light up the PROBIZ Stadium. There's plenty of other guys there. Ryan McGoldrick for one. We don't always talk about young players that are impressing. Ryan McGoldrick's been very diligent in everything he's done at training. He's been very good. Some of the back rowers. Oliver Holmes, Lee Mitchell, Steve Snitch has just come back in. He's been out for a little while with a leg. He's really stepped it up over last week, and Stuart Jones. So there'll be good competition in the back row. But look, everyone's at the moment, their attitude's really good. They're going about their business. They understand that we've got a lot of work to do. I could see a lot of potential in the squad. I think if we can keep this squad together for quite a few years, it'll grow and develop and be successful together.
Now, at what point does attention turn to the Boxing Day clash against Bradford?
Well, first of all, our biggest thing is a little bit of availability of players. I'm actually, in the next probably 48 hours, going to relay the players who are playing and who's not playing. And obviously the blokes who aren't playing are more based on injury. We're not looking at resting anyone. the two players that probably would be rested would be Danny Orr. He had a little bit of a calf problem, and he's just returned back in the last couple of weeks back into our full-time training. So I don't want to jeopardise that with Danny, and obviously with his age and his experience, we've obviously got to look after him too for the long term. And obviously Rangi's not going to play because he played in the internationals. Most international players return to training in January, which is too late for Boxing Day. But we have bringing him in a couple of days a week to just do some ball work. So those two won't play, but we'd like to get everyone who else is fit. I think is our priority. From anyone fit will play on Boxing Day. Anyone who's not fit, we won't jeopardise for that. And so that's pretty important. But it also is pretty important for some of the younger guys who are training in the squad. It's all very nerve-wracking for when you start a full-time career and you're involved with professional players. It's not easy, and it's a great chance for them to get some credibility on Boxing Day. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they go and the areas that we need to continue to help them advance in their game. So, no, I'm looking forward to Boxing Day.